Missions trips. I'm going to tell you why I'm not a huge fan of them. Coming up next on Pastor Bob Daily. Dear Pastor Bob, what do you think about missions trips? Our church is sponsoring another one this summer to Panama for our youth group. Every time they go, it seems that they get fired up, but it wears off after a while. I'm not so sure it's productive. And I'm not so sure either. You know, it's interesting. We have under the bridge a homeless ministry, as you know. And we have an organization that sponsors youth groups and missions trips to Nashville. And many times during the summer, every week we have a different youth group that comes to help from somewhere around the United States. And I always tell them, you know, when you go back home, there are homeless ministries there too. Get involved. Doesn't usually happen. And we had a situation where one of the colleges here in town does an inner city class. People get some kind of a degree in working with people on the streets and inner city, whatever. And they go to big cities in the inner city to work. And they come under the bridge and bring a lot of their students before they go to another city to kind of get their feet wet and to kind of figure out, you know, what they're doing and to kind of get some experience. And whenever they come, I explain to them that we're always here. You don't have to go very far to find people in need. And after you do your inner city work in this other city and you come back, please come and work with us under the bridge. We could really use the help. Not one person out of hundreds has ever come back. We have this mentality that we have to go somewhere else to minister. There's a great quote that I love from St. Francis of Assisi. And he said, "It's no use walking anywhere to preach unless our walking is our preaching." What does that mean? It means wherever you're at, you're preaching. Because when you live your life in front of people, they should see Jesus and ask the questions. I'm going to do 1 Peter 3:15 again. And if you've been watching my podcast for any number of years, I use this verse a lot, but it's so important. Be ready at any time to give a quiet and reverent answer to anyone who asks you about the hope that you have within you. An answer. Why do they ask you the question? Because they see the hope. You can't go to school for that. You can't train for that. You can't, you know, it happens as you live your life. People stopping you and saying, "Would you pray with me?" It happens to me all the time. They don't know me. Why does that happen? Why do I all of a sudden have opportunities other people say, "No, I don't have those"? Because I'm always thinking about, you know, the Lord in my life, about how I'm coming across to people as well. Is my countenance reflecting what's going on inside? And is my walking my preaching? I think it's the most important part of my preaching. And it is yours too. So I think missions trips are great when you go and help build a new church, or you go and help and, you know, some people that really need some help, all of that. If you're doing it for a spiritual boost for your youth group, whatever, I'm not a big fan of that because I think it's defeating the purpose. Bring your youth group down to the soup kitchen. Get them on the streets helping people who are really in need, and not just Christmas when you make gift baskets that are usually tossed in the dumpster anyway because everybody else is doing the same thing. But real work. And if you brought your youth group on a consistent basis to get involved with people on the streets or people who really need your help, nursing homes, children's homes, anything, their lives are changed, not just once a year, but all year long. I hope that helps. And I hope you don't just wait for missions trips or those kinds of things to get involved with people. Remember this quote. I'm going to read it one more time in closing. Francis of Assisi, it is no use walking anywhere to preach unless our walking is our preaching. God bless you. Have a great day.